Ahoy, every nerds! We are back. Happy 2022, everyone, and welcome back to our Sea of Souls live stream homebrew Dungeons and Dragons campaign. We are still the Elder Brain. We're still here, still kicking, and I'm super excited to jump back into our campaign. It's been a little bit of a break. Obviously, we took some time over the holidays to recoup. We also did our holiday one shot. And now we're ready to get back into the regular stream of things and swing of things and swim of things. Before we jump into the game tonight, though, I do want to mention a couple things. We have a couple big things to talk about. One being that we just launched our Patreon.
Hey!
Yay! So we have launched our Patreon. It is officially up. And we will have the link for that is up at our link tree. Which of course you can check out at linktr.ee/elderbrain, because links do weird things. But all of our social links have been updated, and you can join our Patreon. And why would you want to join our Patreon? Well, that's a good question. Let me tell you why you would want to join our Patreon. So all tiers. You get exclusive access to emotes on our Discord server. You get patron shout out. So we'll give you a shout out here on channel or on stream and on socials as well. If depending on what tier you join, you can also get exclusive monthly digital map handouts. You can get some behind the scenes content, including creature stats for some of the different homebrew stuff that we use, and you can maybe even get an NPC named that's going to appear in stream. And something that I think is probably one of the coolest things is that if you become one of our crew members, so one of our highest tier at the moment, you can actually gain the power to influence the game live in stream. And that's a pretty fun thing. So if you feel you want to mess with us, or if there's something that needs happening, or other ways that could be interactive, whether it's adding advantage or disadvantage or doing other cool things, we're gonna introduce some of that stuff. So some fun incentives there, I think, for you to become a patron, a Patreon patron. It's always a patron, yeah. Become a sponsor with your money. Which we greatly appreciate. We appreciate all our fans, everybody's watching. But if you do like what we do and want to support us, then please head over to Patreon and check us out and become a sponsor. And that would be great. We would love for you to do that. One other thing to mention on that line is that we do want to make our stream a little bit more interactive going forward. And so, for our regulars who join in our chat, we're going to give you shout outs and just kind of welcomes and having conversation there, because we do appreciate all of you who have followed us on the Twitch and who hang out with us, and those of us who already joined our Discord server. If you haven't joined our Discord server yet, then please do, and we'll have some good chats there. But we want to build this Elder Brain collective hive mind community to massage the Elder Brain for all its goodness. We'll be throwing out some thank yous and shout outs to everyone who is joining us in stream to show our appreciation, because we love you, and if we didn't have any viewers, then this would just be us. I mean, I guess we'd probably still play.
We'd still play, but it would be less fun.
It'd be less fun. Yeah, it would be. So so I think we got some exciting stuff to look forward to in this coming year. With those things, with the Patreon and with the interactive stream and our Discord server and all that stuff. So, yay! Be fun for you to join us. I think that covers the announcement part, or the information part. So, with the debut of our brand new intro video, let's weigh anchor, mateys.
Whispers in the window are angry waves. Wave, hold the sea of souls. Down to the mists as the ocean slaves. Wave, hold the sea of souls. Hey, hold the sea of souls. Way, oh, the sea of souls. Hoist the sails round the eddies and shoals. Hey, oh, it's the sea of souls. Oh, way, oh, the sea of souls. Way, oh, the sea of souls. Hoist the sails round the eddies and shoals. Hey, ho, it's the sea of souls. Hey, ho, it's the sea of souls. Sea of souls.
All right, recapping what brought us to where we are tonight in session 28. The crew of the Radiant Dawn, a small salvage ketch acquired from Ship Boone of Porto de Arias and renamed, have returned to the Ivory Port in the hopes of gathering some more information about the dark blight infecting the Sea of Souls and causing the Black Tide, as well as looking to hire some crew and possibly sell off a rare dragon scale to the Spire as well. Upon arriving in port, you found it well fortified, thanks to the Black Tide and an incursion of black goo-spawned creatures attacking from the sea. After a brief briefing with Captain Garrus of the Evangard and a very quick reunion with the harbor master, one Thomas Connor, you headed into town to find reprieve at the berth, only to find out that the bar's previous patron, Kuna, one of the bear folk, was a casualty in one of the previous assaults on the port, and a young orc named Carvis was now in charge. You secured rooms for the night and imbibed on some local flavors, both food and drink. And with potential meetings the following day, you bedded down for some well-deserved and much-needed sleep, getting rid of the exhaustion that you had acquired from pushing through the night and in the attempt to get to the port as soon as possible on your travels. As your exhaustion carries you into deep sleep in the night, you wake feeling rested and warm and dry, all three for the first time in what feels like forever. The sun appears somewhat high in the sky through the windows of your two rooms, indicating that it is likely late morning, but not quite noon. I don't know if we decided who was sleeping in which room.
What were the accommodations again?
So there were two rooms. One had 3 beds, one had 2. And we never really covered who was bunking together. But if we can kind of retcon that now, that would be a good idea.
It would probably make the most sense to go 2 and 2.
Torque would take the one with 3 beds because he could certainly just push 2 mattresses together and then sleep on both of them.
Smart.
That makes sense.
So I'll go twinsies with me and my bottle of beer over there.
I will probably bunk out with Torque. He can use my mattress too, because I really don't have much use for it. I'll be curled up at sort of at the foot of the bed. Just being still is enough.
A nice corner in the mess hall.
Flick just sleeps on the roof like Snoopy. It's fine.
Pretty much.
Like Spoopy.
Spoopy, yep.
He's just curled up in like the eaves trough or something.
All right. Mike, I'm going to get you to make our first roll of the brand new year. Can you just simply roll a d20 for me? No modifiers, and just let me know the result, please.
This dice roll shall define our year, guys.
I sure hope not.
No pressure.
Don't say that.
It's going to be like
as he rolls on that one.
I rolled a 14.
14.
Not terrible.
That sounds
middle of the
right.
road, not bad.
All right. So as you all kind of slowly come to wake to the bright sunlight streaming in through the window, you do hear the sound of gulls and waves lapping against the shore not too far away. Not too much activity outside in port. Dinar, you and Talent hear a quiet knock on your door, kind of a hesitant almost.
All right. Well, Dinar probably being
After a
awake
minute,
early Dinar being awake early, preparing his spells, will get up and answer the door.
You open the door to see the bar's patron, Carvis, standing on the other side of the door. Right. Morning.
Morning.
I wasn't planning on waking you. It's not really our sort of thing, but there's a fella downstairs asking on you on the floor. You waiting. Seems very interested in meeting with you. I'm not sure if you're expecting anybody or not.
This fella give you a name?
I'm not sure. I believe he's one of the Diwans of the Spire, actually. Not familiar with all of them, but he's a young human man. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry. Still kind of new here, but very important looking chap.
And he asked for us by name.
He did.
Okay. Tell him we'll be down in a minute.
Right. Everything okay with the rooms last night? Sleep all right?
I'm assuming at some point Tayland meandered up to the room and is probably passed out in the nearest bed.
I would imagine so, yes.
Dinar
if you didn't end up carrying him.
So Dinar will point over to Tayland. Yeah, everything was great. We didn't have to sleep on a rocking ship, so it's comfortable.
Good. Well, there is breakfast downstairs included with the room, so it'll be ready for you whenever you need it. And he just kind of gives a nod and walks off, leaving you.
And Dinar will close the door behind him. And knowing the direction of the room where Flick and Torque are staying, Dinar will pull out a little copper wire and point over there, direct it to Flick, and cast a message. Hey, Flick, we gotta get up. Looks like there's somebody downstairs waiting for us.
Wait. Who knows us here?
Wire, point again. It sounds like it's somebody from the Ivory Spire.
Oh, so they can wait a minute. Good. And I will start waking Torque up.
There's just the sound of mattress springs groaning as Torque rolls over.
Hey, little guy. Sounds like the job's looking for us for a change. So, time to get rolling.
For the best, baby. These mattresses are far too soft for what I'm used to.
Yeah, it was kind of weird being still all night. Not sure I'm used to that.
All right.
And we'll, I guess, make our way down.
Okay.
Yep.
Assuming Dinar wakes up Tayland.
Yeah. Probably end up dragging him out of the bed, smack his head off the ground, but we got somebody waiting for us. You gotta wake up.
Waiting for us.
Apparently somebody from the Spire.
Oh, good. Hang on, let me just. Okay, all right. Hey, does this smell to you?
Well, all humans smell to me, but no.
I've been told that a very good aphrodisiac is the smell of salt and whiskey.
Yeah, not for Dragonborn.
Fair enough.
I'll make our way downstairs.
So the four of you head down.
You smell wonderful.
Comes with the scales.
The four of you head down into the main room of the tavern/inn of the Berth. Not too many patrons at the moment, not too much going on. Sitting at a table just off kind of to the right of the door, the right as you're looking at it, specifically at a table which looks large enough to accommodate the rest of you. You see a young man, dark black skin, shaved black hair, a very neatly trimmed goatee, and dressed immaculately. Very, very fine silken robes. You see several rings on his fingers, and one he's got sort of one of those like not a piercing earring, but like it kind of curls up his ear. There's like some gold filigree going up one ear, and as you creak noisily down the steps, he kind of turns an eye to you. Yes, yes. Oh, you must be the Radiant Dawn crew. I heard that you were looking for me. I am, of course, Ganymede, the Dawn of Defense for the Ivory Spire. The captain said that you wanted to speak with me. It just so happens that I was in the port looking over some matters of importance at the Eben Guard. So, my time is limited, but I am here. Come.
Are we
Morning.
just doing this here?
But do you have a better place in mind? Do you have...
No, just making sure. Torque will take a seat.
I understand. You are worried about the surveillance that we have in place. Is this a conversation that you wish to have more privately, without perhaps some of my compatriots listening on? Is it that sort of sensitive type of thing?
Well, in my experience thus far, if there's anyone listening in on us presently, then moving to a secondary location will likely not be enough to deter them. So in for a copper, in for a gold piece, as they say. Torque will just sort of grunt and sit down on one of the stools, leaving a space between him and Ganymede because he assumes that the captain will want to sit directly next to our guest.
Dinar will have that seat.
Listen, I understand your hesitancy for listening in on of the sorts. How about this? I tell you, if the conversation turns to something of a more sensitive nature, I am of course the Dawn of Defense. I can merely just put up a barrier of sorts to give us a little bit more privacy. It's nice. Well within my rights to do so. So.
Just put up the red card for us if we hit a topic that's sensitive for you, and that'd be great.
I will leave everything in place for now. But if our conversation seems to go in nature that I deem perhaps more sensitive, even for local ears from down here, not necessarily the Spire, then I will put some more measures in place, and I will let you know about them. I think that is fair. Yes.
Sure, that sounds good.
Good. Now, I am curious as to what exactly it is you want from me. Now, Captain Garrus did mention a couple of things that you're looking for, perhaps for some sort of sponsorship from Spire, for us to sort of help you out with outfitting and the like. I'm aware of your reputation as well, that you have sailed in the past with Connor Boone. Also, that you sailed through the lair of the beast, the crazy tentacle mouth gaping beast thing.
That's not even half of it. You should
that is now blocking the.
You should have seen the size of the teeth on this thing. Look, the tentacles are one thing, but it's the teeth.
I have conjured enough images of it based on descriptions and its location to have an idea. I wish not to see it in person, but I'm glad that you escaped it. So. Nonetheless, it's perhaps you have some things you could share with myself that would aid us in defense of the port and the Spire in these dark times.
Have we been given any food or drink or anything at this point?
Yeah. So breakfast is being brought to you because it was included with your stay in the room. So it's kind of in the preparation being made in the kitchens and then prepared and brought out to you. Yeah.
Just imagine some pots and pans clattering as part of the ambiance.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I could probably get a couple bam, bam.
Reminds me of camp.
So yeah, food and drink is being prepared for you at the moment. Yeah. So, which one of you is Donar, by the way, the captain?
The
shiny one.
Ah, yes. Okay, very good, nice.
The one who smells real nice.
Yes, a Lucian Dragonborn. Not don't see too many of your kinds.
No, you don't.
Actually, I haven't seen any of your kind, but I'm aware of.
I don't imagine that you have. I've not run into any others out this far.
No. Skorathi in the tower, though. She mentions that she's seen a few back in Tracor.
What did you say her name was?
Skorathi.
Skrazi?
Skorathi.
Skorasi.
Scorathi.
Do you need me to skywrite it for you?
The
Like,
TH
translate.
sounds are difficult for us we don't have lips, you see.
Yeah, well.
Like,
Yes.
translate.
That's Flick got it.
What's
I
Skorati?
apologize. I am. Now, please don't be too alarmed when I say this, but I am originally from the Careful region. I am not of Careful. Actually, I'm emancipated, as it were, from certain individuals from that region. But learning different dialect can be a little bit challenging. I hope that won't get in the way of us understanding one another, though.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Good. So, please tell me about this encounter you had. What was it like being up so close to the teeth and the tentacles?
Oh, let me tell you. All right, so there we were, right? Waves capped with white foam, like the best booze you've ever seen in your life, right?
I mean, unlikely in the
Frothing
archipelago
around.
in the shallows, but okay.
Rain cascading down, dizzying in its intensity and the scent of filth on the air. Thunder cracked overhead and lightning would stab the waves like demonic forks, piercing into the souls of the damned. The only light we had, the radiant scales of our captain standing tall upon the prow. The tentacles would mash out of the sides like whirlpools wrapping through the air and into the clouds. They descended down upon us, only to be met with the glorious radiant blast of a 360 sweep of the glorious captain, Flick scaling above them from suction cup to suction cup, and teeth covered in knives, as one by one he would use his own mouth to stab into them and propel himself forward to the next one. And then, of course, we had Torque using his anchor like a hook to wrap around and bring them all together in time for me to play one discordant tune. And they were all shattered into a million pieces of flesh. And as they sailed down into the white-capped foam, it was as if we were swimming in a stew of squid.
My memory is a bit fuzzy on the subject, but that is...
Trust
the
me,
gist
that's
of
how it
yes.
happened.
Okay, but it still lives, so not destroyed.
Yes.
Didn't say we killed it. I said we destroyed some tentacles, okay?
Now, I have-
Actually, on that note, Mr. Ganymede,
Yes.
out of curiosity, did you happen to be one of the individuals who came to our aid as our ship was making its escape? As we were about to be overtaken, the monster received several attacks of a magical nature from an unknown rescuer. We were wondering if we could speak to those responsible for our salvation.
Also, if you're responsible for security, there's a specific guard that we'd like to make sure gets a recommended commendation of valor.
Ah, yes, Lieutenant Gary.
Yes,
Yes.
His promotion was already part of that.
excellent.
Yes. As for the shimmering rays, as you explain it, I was not directly responsible for that instance of them, but for putting them in place. Yes, I had a big part in that. A minor deterrent, nothing of a super destructive nature, but we have been watching that pass for some time now since the emergence of this creature, and we have a few individuals scrying, keeping a close eye on it, and we saw a ship that was passing through and in the danger. Our beacon-ish was enacted. I'd rather not discuss too much at the moment, tower secrets and all, but unfortunately it's not quite as powerful as we would hope. It's certainly not enough to destroy this thing, but I'm glad that it helped in getting you through. That was the aim. Although it seems that the passage is now being blocked entirely by this creature has brought down the rocks and dammed up the entire passage, so we might be cut off for some time from the south.
I think you guys kind of ticked him off.
Well,
are you sure it wasn't you?
that was our second time taking out
no
some
one-
of its tentacles, so...
No one is ever ticked off by me.
A likely story. Almost as likely as your previous one. Anyway,
Now you're getting it.
can you tell me anything helpful about this anything you notice of any nature, any weakness, any vulnerability, anything that set it off, anything? Do you know what it is?
The trick is to be amazingly awesome at battle.
So helpful.
As for what it is, are you familiar with the wizard Jordan? Because if what I'm about to say is far-fetched, he may be available to verify.
Here we go.
Jordan's, yes. I know Jordan. Well, I know of him. I haven't had the chance to meet him personally, but he is well known at the Spire. Most assuredly.
While in the company of Master Jordan and his tower, the captain and Flick here may have accidentally made contact with an entity which may be related to this creature. Captain, if you could elaborate.
Yes, Captain.
He's talking about Triscuits.
What are Triscuits?
I don't believe that was the correct pronunciation.
The 13th ending, right? Triscuits.
It was something like Triascans. Triascan?
You see
whatever.
Ganymede kind of like he's leaning forward a
Oh.
little bit at this moment, just kind of ears perked up, looking at you.
Right? That was the thing whose brain we tickled when we were doing the thing in the tower, right?
Sorry, my memory is a bit
Triscades.
hazy. I know that I was only asleep for a few hours, but it felt like a month. As such, my memory is a bit foggy on... Oh, yes, Triscades.
Triscades. Triscads. Yeah.
I believe Triscades was
We,
the name that was communicated to myself and to the drunk.
If I may, gentlemen,
Yeah.
I believe now is the time for a more private conversation.
Figured we'd get there eventually.
As you were.
One moment, please. Pulls out a handkerchief, among all things, and you can see on it that there is inscribed a single eye. Dinar, you would recognize this as the symbol of Subarum, the god of knowledge, god of magic. It appears to be a holy symbol of some sort. And he kind of thins out, the handkerchief and waves it. And there's a little bit of a shimmer, kind of a shield that appears for a moment around your table and then vanishes. And the sounds from outside, the sounds from the kitchen, the kind of ever-present music that's in the background there seems to fade a little bit, become a little bit more muted. All right. We are protected from any scrying or outside interference and hearing at the moment. I believe the name that we're talking about is Triscades.
Triscades, yes.
Yes, that is correct.
That you are aware of this name and this entity is a curious thing.
Well, we're smart.
We're
Intelligence
not that
is
smart.
nothing.
It spoke its name to us.
Yeah.
I like poking our noses where it ain't supposed to be, too.
We were merely in the wrong place at the right time.
You have heard from this entity. It spoke to you.
Have we heard from it? Holy smokes! It shut off Jorand.
Yeah,
It was
we-
more at us than to us. Yes.
Yeah.
We've now heard it
admit.
twice. The first time was with Jorand when we were seeking knowledge. Kinda, blew up Jorand's tower. Almost killed him, it seems. The second time, Mike is saying this, if memory serves me correctly, was when we were fighting the tentacled creature last time.
Correct.
That's when we heard the voice the second time.
I'm assuming a creature made of tentacles can't actually speak, so I think that's a fairly.
Hmm.
I mean, it had a mouth,
It did. A gaping maw.
a really big mouth. To be fair,
The second time we heard the voice was when we were last fighting that tentacled monster.
The dark tentacles.
The dark tentacles.
Interesting.
With the white-capped waves and the lightning and
Yes, that.
the teeth knives.
All of that, yes. Gentlemen, it would seem that whether you have chosen this or not, you are in the thick of things.
That's one way to put it.
And
Think of it.
I was sort of curious to find out what you knew before bringing you into the circle, as it were, into the loop. But if you've already encountered Triskelies, if you've already had some experience with the Black Tide and everything that's going on, then I think it best that I formally bring you into our investigation.
any information you have will be most helpful.
You bringing us to the White
I was,
Tower, to the Ivory
About
Spire?
to say the same thing to you. Not yet. Perhaps it will come to that. The Spire is in sort of a state of lockdown at the moment. We cannot discuss more. However, we will be working together. You can be sure of that. As you no doubt have seen, we are currently trying to stem the tide of this black tide and learn more about it. We have deduced that this entity, Triskelies, currently resides at the very heart of the Sea of Souls. There is something down there that drew it. We're not sure what exactly. We've been trying to find that out, but the entire region is clouded from our sight now. We've been working very hard to pierce the veil that this Triskelies has put up. It's not an easy thing, even for us.
When did that veil appear?
It's hard to say. It sort of seems that this entity has perhaps been here for a while, without us or anyone really being aware of it, sort of slowly spreading its influence, spreading its darkness, and recently, for whatever reason, it has stepped up its power, its reach, extended this black tide out. The entire sea itself becoming dark and murky.
When you say recently, are we talking a month? Give or take, or longer?
Well, Kamari believes it may have been here for years.
Well,
A
yeah,
dormant.
but did it start going nuts about a month ago? Maybe a month and a half?
Something around there, yes. That's probably a good accurate estimation.
Month and a half is roughly when Jordan's tower blew up. If
That
memory
would-
serves me right.
Track.
Interesting. Entity seems to be spreading a lot of things. Yeah. Hopefully not COVID. Hopefully it's not spreading COVID. That's one thing that we'll hope.
I'd say too soon, but
Is it too soon?
It's always going to be too
not really.
Year 3 of 2 weeks.
Okay, back to the escapism.
That's right. There is a few matters of great concern around this entity. We're trying to find out more about it. One thing that we have ascertained for certain is that Triskelies is not Eudoran.
Did you say not Eudoran?
Yes.
Huh.
So none of this world.
See now this
Something
guy
from
this
somewhere
guy is this guy is no longer allowed to say he doesn't believe my stories.
How about us?
How much do you know about the realms beyond where we exist here?
Pretend we're
no
very
doubt.
simple folk and explain it to us in small words. How's that sound?
Probably the safest way to go.
Pretend that we're not mostly played by veteran DMs with a library.
Well, listen, surely you've heard
Hey,
of.
I've never run a game in this setting before, so this is all new to me.
It's true, but surely you've heard of the Mirror realms, the Feywild, the Shadowfell, for example, or perhaps even the Hells, the Abyss. The
Of
heavens,
course.
where the gods dwell.
Yes.
There are many realms that exist outside of just this one, the material realm. But even beyond those realms, there is, well, we're not entirely certain. We believe there's guesstimates, if you will, about how many realms there might be, but there are some that exist far beyond our ability to see or grasp. Again, this is some sort of speculation from Edwin and Kamari, not for myself. I don't really have a mind for these things as much. But they believe that this Triscades is from somewhere else. That's as much as we know at the moment, but why it is here, that is the more important question that we're asking.
I want to know how he got here. That seems like an
Also-
impossible thing to do.
Well,
Not as impossible as you might think.
yeah, crossing over the realms is
Or-
not impossible. Difficult.
Yeah. Have you heard of, well, surely you have, at least in theory, heard of teleportation magic, if you've not experienced it yourself.
You mean when I meld into the water particles in the air and form into mist momentarily? Yes, I am aware of how to teleport.
No, that's a cheap parlor trick compared to teleportation.
Listen, so teleportation is something that can happen. You can go from here to there. On a much grander scale, it is possible to go from plane to plane, from realm to realm. Open up gates, portals to other places. It is...
See, now I've been reading about this crap. It's it's like Torque, like the little paper turtle that I made for you. That same thing. So you're doing that with space.
Folding?
Yeah, but you got to fold it just right, or else it doesn't turn into a turtle. It turns into crap, and then you're in trouble.
See, this is why I just swing heavy objects. This all sounds far too.
You've got a very good
nuanced.
mind on you, my friend. See, we at Aspire, we use
Perhaps I'd understand it
teleportation
better if it
circles.
was in song.
I'm not going to sing for you. But we have teleportation circles that get us around, even from here back to the spire. Surely we don't walk the distance, it's quite far.
I would
It's
like to
much
study
more-
those when you get a chance.
Perhaps. I think it's time that you meet a colleague of mine.
Okay.
You say so?
She is the one of ataxia. Her specialty is, well, primarily the chaos weave, but other things of sort of a chaotic and unknown nature. There's also Edwin, who is the one of cosmology. Beyond. Study of the things beyond this realm. Perhaps
Well,
you will come to meet him as well, but for the moment, I think Kamari. What does your future look like? That's the right way to ask it. Would you be willing to be of service, of use, and also gain some more information about your own inquests at the same time?
If I may sidebar with the captain for a moment.
Captain, a word.
Yes. I tell you what. I'm going to return to the Ebengard garrison to follow up on a matter that I was looking at earlier. I will come back in 1 hour's time. There is a location not far from here where we've discovered something of a curious nature, which we believe is tied to all of this, and we could use some investigation. Your connection to all of this might aid. Decide if you're willing to be of service, and we'll go from there. Give you time to have your discussion.
Thanks, Ganymede.
Of course. When I leave of this, unfortunately, this will not last. The bubble I've created, it'll exit with me. But should you wish a private conversation, return to your ship somewhere outside of town. Probably best. We do have ears everywhere. Mostly.
Noted.
I will return. Enjoy. Have your breakfast. Enjoy, and we'll go back. And without waiting for another response, he just kind of gets up, gives a little bit of a bow until he makes his way up the door. And as he does, the sound kind of rushes back in like a whoop. You hear the music again. You hear the sounds of the kitchen. Right as the couple platters will start being brought right out to your table with a fine spread of breakfast.
Permission to speak freely, Captain.
Yeah, of course. What's up?
I think that we should accept his offer.
Okay.
Permission to insult Torque, Captain?
I'll allow it.
Torque, that's a stupid idea.
You're gonna need
Permission to kick
qualify
Talon's stool out from under him, Captain.
that. Granted. Immediately granted.
What?
With all due respect
joke.
to Eddie, in all seriousness, though, it sounds as though not only do the goals of the Ivory Spire already align with our own, but the information that they have could prove to be incredibly useful if Triscades continues to be a antagonistic force in our lives.
Just to be clear here, when you say aligns with our goals, you mean your goal to kill a god.
Yes.
Just putting that out there. I don't think that's our goal. I think that's your goal.
I apologize if some of us have loftier aspirations than drinking ourselves to death, Talon, but seeing as you have no long-term goals that I'm aware of, I feel that I am welcome to make the executive decision here.
Well, Torque, you may be not accurate there. Talon definitely has motives. He's not telling us. But there is motive there. Just like all of us. Now, we were heading up north. This was a pit stop for us. Why were we going north again? Mike is asking now. Who was it that wanted to go to Tyr?
I'd like to go north.
That's also for goals of my own. So I realize if my opinion here comes across as greedy, I will, of course, defer to your expertise, Captain, as to what our next course of action should be.
Well, a couple of thoughts float into my head. We had
I thought I saw that happening.
It doesn't happen often. We were heading north. We were stopping here for information, for supplies, so that we could continue north. We had reason to go up there. Multiple reasons to go up there.
Yes.
The other thought that I had was, this guy has dropped the name of some elder god thing that's not even from our realm. And I'm not going to lie, as amazing as the four of us are we really suggesting that we're going to be able to handle this?
No.
I would agree. I also recognize that going north and doing nothing might make it worse.
Hey,
so
we're not doing nothing. We're adventuring.
We're adventuring, and we are adventurers.
I will point out that I don't even think I believe everything that this guy said. Look, this is what they believe. He even used the word believe. We don't have to take anything he said as fact. For all we know, these guys are spilling us a bunch of nonsense to get us to sign on to them as expendable ship rights.
I'm going to stop you right there as the wizard hater, and we're going to defer to Flick. Flick, what is your call? What is your read on this guy?
Actually, what was my read on that guy? Did I get
Give me
it?
insight.
Will
Yeah,
Craig
give me
allow a
insight check.
retroactive insight check?
Yeah, insight check. I mean,
It's not retroactive.
I mean-
you can kind of look back and read.
I
read
mean,
the
you are
situation as
always
that.
watching.
Oh yeah. Solid 9 on that. So
I'll give you. I'm gonna get. Well, I was gonna say I was gonna give you advantage on this because.
oh sure.
You did have plenty of time to get a read, yeah.
You were watching
Ten.
pretty.
Ooh,
intently, so.
9 and a 10. That's it.
Always feel
Which one are you gonna take?
9 and a
Take the
10.
10. Take the 10. Take the 10.
Okay, so yeah, he was a
A
little
lot of.
opaque. I think he won me over a bit by dropping his background. I don't know whether they've been snooping on us or what, but fellow Carafolian, he's from
Carafolian,
Carafol
yeah.
too. So we've got some joint history going on.
I'll
not super-
say that was the only thing to me that was slightly suspicious. This
That
guy just
was
happens
the
to be
only
where you're
thing?
from. Well, it was the one thing that he said that, and I was like, I don't know, in my entire time on the sea that I've met another person from Carafol. All
Let
of a
alone
sudden,
another
we've
liberated
got-
slave,
well,
right? Like
liberated slave. We got some guy who's now sitting up in the Ivory Spire. Just happens to have a little backstory with one of our own.
Fleck, you would know that his accent and his dialect does check out
But he's a
as
wizard.
I mean,
being from the Careful.
He at least talked the talk. I'm not sure he's walking the walk, but yeah, that could have been just a little bit bait. I'm not super keen on hitching our wagon to the Ivory Spire immediately,
All right.
but if we want to, sign up for some commissioned work, I'm cool with making some coin, and then we can suss them out over the course of that.
So
All
here's
right, well-
so here's the thing. Is we'll lay this all out. They're interested in us because we've been in the right place at the right time. We've seen the things that they're interested in. We have done things to prove that we can handle the things that they're interested in. That means we have an edge here. They came to us. We have all the negotiation power. Let's not squander this if that's what we're going to do, okay?
Oh, absolutely. I'm saying we write up the contract and we set our terms and we go on our merry way. And if
And I reserve the right that if they are refusing to acknowledge that we have the positive side of the argument here, we walk. I'm
Well-
not becoming no lapdog for some wizards.
Well, the captain has heard all of our arguments for or against. Ultimately, it is his decision to make as to what our next course of action shall be. Captain?
as has
that.
the entire
Sure.
Ivory Spire, because we're still sitting here in the restaurant with all their listening devices. So, yeah.
Torque, as you're having
Yes.
this conversation, you just kind of catch as you're letting the conversation happen. You set a corner of your eye across the room, a chair at one of the tables. The room's empty, but the chair just ever so slowly just shifts as though somebody were moving it.
You know,
Well,
Captain, a word.
we're already having a word, Torque, but yes, what?
Torque will just move his eyes towards the chair and try to just communicate non-verbally that there's something strange with that area.
Dinar will look where Torque is looking. Does Dinar see anything?
Make a perception check.
Okay. That's a 7 total.
whoosh.
Your passive is 11, so
Yeah.
we'll go with that. With an 11, nope. Looks like an empty room to you.
Ayland, you look a bit parched. Might I freshen your drink for you?
Sure.
All right. If he's
Torque will just raise his hand and be like, another mug of ale for the table here.
If he's buying, get the good stuff.
So,
Carvis kind of acknowledges and gets a couple of mugs ready.
So if what I'm understanding from everybody at the table here is that we're okay to postpone our voyage north to hear out the Ivory Spire, see what their terms are, see what they want us to do, and make a decision after that.
At the very least, I guess we should hear them out.
That is...
I think that having a
shockingly reasonable.
valuable ally on our sides could be beneficial. However, I understand the arguments against doing so, and we'll respect your decision either way, Captain.
I'm fine with talking with the Ivory Spire, but just wanted to make sure you guys were okay with not going north right away as originally planned. So...
Sorry, we're talking like delay of a day, right? Like we just need to go talk to these chumps, figure out whether they're paying us or whether they're going to put us under their thumbs, and go from there.
Let me know when those drinks arrive, Craig.
Only takes about a couple minutes, and Carvis comes over.
Thorg will pick up one of the mugs and be like, "Here you go, Talon. Oh, my hand slipped," and just fling it in the direction of the chair.
And that has to be the way Torque delivered it. Here you go, Talon. Oh, my hand slipped.
Yeah, like he says it before he even moves. Like, "Oh no, my hand slipped."
Give me what do you call this? This
That's
is
awesome.
I almost want to say. I was gonna say I think sleight of hand for the accuracy. Yeah, let's go sleight of hand here. The strength is gonna be like you'll clear the room.
Yeah,
easily, so.
it's more about precision than.
That's what I'm thinking here.
That's gonna be a 14. Yes.
On the
14,
3D dice, that was
okay.
almost a 2.
You definitely hate when I drop my glass and it ends up 20 meters across the room. Yeah, me too. Crazy how that happens, right? Whoops. You don't quite hit the chair, but you definitely get it within the immediate vicinity of that specific table. And the glass kind of hits the table and breaks. And even as you threw it, Carver's just like, "What?"
Oh, I didn't throw the glass. I just flung like the liquid.
Ah.
If there's someone invisible in the chair, I want to like splash them, see if they make any sort of like involuntary like noise or anything in response to getting splashed with.
All right. In that case, then, so as liquid is kind of flying towards the back table, and still Carvis is just like, "What? Like, what are you doing?" The chair kind of scrapes again, kind of back out of the way, and then heading from that direction to what if it like a sort of window towards the back, you just hear, and then the window just kind of like flies open.
Excuse me, I have to use the bathroom. Torque gets up and immediately starts following the direction of the footsteps. Full sprint.
Faster than that, Flick will misty step to the window.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, like
Pretty sneaky, sis.
as you see the footsteps going. Okay.
So I'll be like standing basically in the window frame.
Give me an initiative roll.
Splayed out like just starfish.
Pretty much.
Give me an initiative roll.
Hey.
Ooh,
All
just
right.
flick. Just flick.
Ah, son of a! I'm not rolling well today.
So close. I rolled a 16.
Oh.
So 30. So you get there, and right as you get there, you're kind of like making yourself up. You actually feel something kind of brush past you, as you're not quite big enough to kind of fill the whole frame. But there's kind of a rough shove, just like knocks you out of the way. Something jumps out of the window, and you see some of the grass and kind of bushes on the far side kind of shuffle, and something runs off.
Excuse you, chump.
Torque's in the process of getting up and running towards the window at this point.
What's going on?
Dinar will stand up.
Do I see any like wet footprints or anything on the way, like outside the window?
Give me a survival check.
Okay.
Look for follow tracks.
Talon, remember how Ganymede said they've got ears everywhere?
Oh, we're fighting giant ears.
Whoop, that's it's gonna be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 on survival. Okay. Looking closely at sort of the print where there's a depression in the ground and the grass, like right where the creature, whatever it was, kind of landed. And you see not a booted footprint, but one that is clawed. 3 toes. A little bit of claw mark. Left a subtle yet obvious enough for you depression in the grass.
Well, I don't know about Dinar, but Mike's pretty certain he knows what that is.
At this point, Corvus is kind of like watching the whole thing unfold. He's like, "Oh, son of a! We got somebody spying in here. I don't think that's one of the spires. They tend more for the magical eavesdropping sort of thing."
I mean,
they were
we
invisible,
couldn't
but
see them. Yeah.
That seems reasonably magic to me.
Right, but I mean, they got listening all over the place. They wouldn't need somebody to actually physically sit there and watch you. They got ears everywhere.
Well, sure, but maybe they were watching us and not listening.
They might be able to do.
Or there's more than one set of spies. This place is great.
Hey,
Personally, I think this might be
redundancy.
something else, but
Redundancy is also potential.
Yeah.
However, I do believe that, yes, I think that we've got a tail, lads.
What do you think, little guy? Is there enough of a trail to follow?
It's certainly worth a shot. Are we all going to go together, or is this one of those moments where we split up?
We got nowhere else to be. If we're going, we might as well all go.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
Let's
all adrift together.
see where the trail takes us.
okay. Heading out the door or the window?
I don't think Torque can go through them.
Yeah,
say.
my options are limited here.
I think maybe Torque stays in the window and we go outside, and Torque points to the footprints, and then we track him, and he comes around and joins
Yeah.
us.
I'm already standing in the window.
I mean,
He
Tor can
pointed
go
out.
like out and around,
Yeah.
like out the door and around.
I at
like,
least see the beginning of the trail now that you pointed it out to me, and I can spot the spot.
This is no longer a chase. It's more of like just following.
Sleuthing.
We're at the berth,
All right.
right, Craig?
Yes, you're at the berth.
Okay, let me pull up the map here for the stream.
So the window
Dinar, do you have a way to see invisibility?
jumped out.
Tayland, I'm
What a
getting real
shock.
tired- I'm
Okay,
getting
let's
real
move on.
tired of you asking me if I have spells. If you
Detect
want me
and see
to
if the
have
footprints are
spells, you need to tell me. Don't ask me if I have something.
So
I
I've
don't,
marked
right?
the
No, I
location of the window on the back of the berth there, and given the sort of position of the back of the berth, given the positioning of the footprint, the imprint on the ground, and kind of the direction it was facing, it looks like it was kind of heading off back around those couple sort of warehouse buildings in behind the berth there and along the newly erected wall.
Is the wall scalable?
With a decent amount of effort.
I'd imagine that it's probably patrolling with guards that generally wouldn't like us to just do that, though.
There are guards, several of who have the fancy magic cannons patrolling the top of the wall.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we need to get moving. Which of us is going to be the best tracker? It's either Torque or Flick.
Not
I
me.
got a +5 to my survival.
Yeah.
I'm actually trained in survival. I have a +4.
So do I, but they're still better.
Yeah.
Maybe Dinar can give me advantage with the help action.
Hey.
Torque, are you trained in survival? You're trained in survival, right?
I am, yes. I
Okay,
have
yeah.
a +5. I'm proficient.
So I'd say yes. So Torque can take the lead, and if one of you wants to assist him, you can give him the help action and give him advantage on a survival check.
Yeah. I'll give him advantage.
Okay, here we go. 18.
18. Okay. Moving forward about 10 feet or so, You can pick up a couple other spots where it's pretty like close cropped grass, like it's been kind of almost manicured, but you can see where some of the blades of grass have been broken, and there's another imprint definitely following in this direction, so you're on the right track. Whatever this is moving fast too. The footprints are spaced out. It's running.
They're running it.
Is there enough to go off of in that case? Like, is there enough to follow, or does it kind of go cold?
For the moment, yeah, you can continue to follow it, and it seems to be just kind of almost like running beeline along the wall, keeping really close up against the wall, like running, trying to stay flush with it as it runs.
Right. I guess we've already committed to this, so I'll keep following the trail until it starts to like get cold.
Okay.
I imagine
So
whoever they are, they're moving too quickly to be able to cover their trails.
Yeah, they're both.
Yeah, they're not. It's pretty obvious that there's no intent to like try and hide tracks at this point, but still moving fairly stealthily, but speed seems to be their goal at the moment. So as you get sort of behind a back house or a warehouse that backs onto the Ivory Goods, I'll get you to make another survival check at this point, at this junction, to see if you can.
You got it.
Follow the tracks.
Is Dinar still helping for this one, or is this
Oh,
just a flat roll?
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay. If Craig is cool with that.
Yeah.
Ooh, 16.
Not
16. Okay.
I'm
It takes
getting
you
exponentially worse as we go.
it takes you a second longer as the throwaway kind of opens up a little more here, and so there's more options of where it could go. There's kind of an alley that scoots between the Ivory Goods and another bigger warehouse. There's also the wall, and so it just takes you a few seconds longer to kind of look and track. And the course does diverge away from the wall and actually starts heading down towards the main road, actually, right between the Ivory Goods and the warehouse.
Interesting.
Do you follow?
So, I would follow, yes, unless anyone, unless Dinar gave me any reason not to. I would probably just continue following.
At this point, I think we just well, no. He's gonna get onto the pebble stone, and we're not gonna be able to track him. So we have to just run. Stop looking, run.
And just hope that we hit something invisible.
Yeah, it's a narrow alley, but as soon as he gets onto the cobblestone, we're toast. We can't track. I bet.
Right. Yeah. Just keep going as far as we can.
Yeah, we'll bolt it at this point, I think, and see if somehow we can catch up to them.
Okay.
You want one of us to stay here in case he doubles back?
Sure. Why don't you and Flick stay? Torque and I will run ahead, and maybe we can bookend the alley in case he finds a way to jump around us.
Bully in the
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, who's staying back? Sorry.
Me and Flick.
Okay. And Dinar and Torque are running up the alley.
Yeah.
Yes. It is correct.
All right. Dinar and Torque, as you continue to, you kind of pick up speed and just run full out now. Torque's footsteps just picking up speed as he kind of barrels through. The two of you are quite large individuals. And it is a bit of a narrow fit, but your experienced adventurers mean it's just kind of squeeze your way through and push through this narrow spot. And as you burst out onto the main thoroughfare, and you can see now that there are a number of guards on patrol around. And as soon as they see you come running out, they kind of stop and look. A couple of them have like hands of weapons. They recognize you, but they're still looking and like trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. You see another individual who has started running almost in the same direction that you are from the entry of the Ivory Goods. You see Serena. in her full blacks, just like she's picking up and she's heading the same direction that you are. And as she sees the two of you kind of come out of the alley, she gives a look over at you. She nods and she points south towards the trees at the far end of the square.
Right, no hesitation. Torque will just nod and then full tilt, sprint in the direction that she's pointing.
Dinar will bolt as well, but pull out his copper wire, point over his shoulder back at Flick.
Oh, yeah, we see you guys take it off, and it's like, okay, yep, plan has changed.
Looks like somebody else is tracking this person. Join us.
All right. So Dinar and Torque, can I get you both of you to give me, I'll say either an acrobatics or an athletics, your choice.
All right.
As you kind of attempt to
this is going to be
the pace and race across the courtyard.
This is going to be extremely cheesy, and feel free to say no. Could Torque burn one of his rages to get advantage on this athletics check?
I'm going to say yes, because I like the picture of that, and I think it fits into the narrative. So
yeah, like Torque is like running so fast that there's like electricity just like streaming off of him
Sonic?
as he's just like
Sonic,
barreling. Like he's still a turtle, so it's not like a graceful speed. He's like practically bounding like on all fours at this point. Like have you ever seen like if you've ever seen like an alligator run on land, that's kind of what it looks like. He's like kind of galloping almost.
Yeah.
I'm picturing more like the Juggernaut, that once he picks up speed, he just can't be stopped until
Yeah,
he gets something.
it's pure, it's like pure momentum. Yeah. Okay, here goes.
Totally. 23. Oh, nice.
Dinar is actually trained in athletics.
Okay.
So I rolled a 16 plus my 3, so 19.
Nice. Okay, both of you just kind of dig into that extra little bit of endurance that you've built up as adventurers. Torque especially just kind of takes off and starts pounding across the courtyard, and a number of guards now are kind of shouting and watching. And you see a few of them have got crossbows out. They're just kind of waiting because they see the three of you running, but they don't see what you're running after. So there's kind of a curiosity of like what is going on.
Yeah, and then Taylor and I sort of trot out of the alley. Like,
yeah. So in behind, I'll get the two of you as well to do the same, either acrobatics or athletics.
Right.
Well, yeah, one of those is way better.
Do you want to weave through all the pedestrians on the street, or just barrel through them?
I'll be weaving.
Get out of my way.
For God's sake!
Oh man.
I am not rolling tonight.
Move, guard, get out the way. So yeah, 12 and 11. Okay. A little bit slow in the take as you see them running, but then it's kind of one of those moments where like, should we? Oh yeah, we should. Kind of run out. And
should we also run?
Yeah.
We should also run.
The gap is increasing as they kind of pull away from you at this point. And as the two of you come out of the alley, you see Serena as well, who has picked up speed and begins to actually outpace Torque even at this point, as she's just booking it full speed. You can see that there's, I mean, you already knew that she's, not just a shopkeeper based on her attire and whatnot, but there's definitely some experience in this, as she just full-fledged runs across the courtyard.
Craig, just because it's been a month, Serena is the person that sold Torque his trident?
Correct.
Okay.
So she's the pale elf with the exquisite black leather armor who runs the ivory goods. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And she actually pulls out a couple of daggers, from her waist belt as well, and just kind of seems to blindly just go make two dagger tosses in the general direction that you guys are running. If either of you wants to attempt anything as well, you are keeping pace. You actually see sort of up where there's a trebuchet that's kind of locked in position. It's not actually armed at the moment, but you see a couple of like broken wood scraps and stuff near it kind of get scuffled as something runs kind of through them, giving you an idea of where they are. That dagger is gonna miss. Oh shit! I rolled a 9 and an 8, so both those daggers just kind of fly and don't hit anything.
Okay.
Are you doing expeditious retreat?
No,
or you
sorry, I'm misclicking
Okay.
on things. I'm trying to read and
Stop it.
instead clicking on the things.
Stop it.
Stop
My
it. What can I do here? I did rage,
You did.
which means that as part of the bonus action that cost me the rage, I can use my instinctive pounce to move up to half my speed. Would that help me close the distance any better?
I would say yes. So right as you get within about 10 feet away of the trebuchet, as you see the planks kind of around it scuffle a little bit. And so you've got a pretty good idea. It's still blind. It'd be disadvantaged that you don't see exactly who they are and where they are. But you know that they are about 10 feet away from you. You're
I am just
quite
gonna
close now.
attempt to just leap and literally tackle them to the ground if possible.
Okay. So this would be a grapple at disadvantage, I suppose. Then
I am going to burn another rage to even that out into a regular athletics check.
all right.
Okay.
Ooh, 15.
That's okay. I rolled a 4. So even with their bonus, you just blindly jump out and as you do, this 600 pounds of torque barbarian just jumping through the air, you actually kind of hear a scream of fear as your hands wrap around something and you just kind of land and smother on something.
As we see the slow-mo instant replay, Torque will twist in midair and land on the back of his shell so he doesn't crush the person that he just grabbed.
Sure.
Smart.
Sure.
He'll kind of twist to his. He'll land on his side as it will skid across the dirt. So he's not putting all of his weight on this captive.
The individual you hold is of small persuasion, and as you kind of wrestling around, you can distinctly feel some clawed hands, a snout. You feel a long tail as well, and as you're kind of wrestling and holding, the creature becomes visible as it attempts to stab you.
Is it a
With a
green
dagger.
dragonborn?
It is not.
The person we
It is
just
a
hired.
kobold. It is a kobold.
Okay.
Ooh.
Making sure.
The plot thickens.
As the kobold attempts to stab you, but it kind of weakly, the dagger kind of falls out of its hand. And as you've kind of got it held in there, it's kind of like, okay, I surrender. Please don't crush me. Oh, you're so big.
Torque will stand up and just kind of hold him by the tail, in the air.
So demeaning. Kissik is going to get humiliated for this.
Captain, our friend here wishes to parley.
What you got there, Torque?
Yes, parlay, please. Yes, I will talk. Kissik will be very, very helpful. Yes. Just please don't let the big one crush me.
Did you say Kissik? Is that your name?
Yes, Kissik.
Kissik, what are you doing here?
That's quite the name.
What is your name, Fleshman? I could say the same thing for you. Humans have stupid names.
Hey,
What? It's true.
Kissik, what are you doing here?
Working.
For?
My employer.
Who is?
I can't say. They would kill me.
this is gonna take a while.
You're concerned about the big one crushing you,
Yes.
but you won't tell us who your employer is because they might kill you.
Yes.
Sounds like you are between a rock and a hard place, my friend.
Oh,
I just don't. Because they're not supposed to get caught. Sloppy, move chair.
Well-
Big one, you have good senses. How you spot me, huh? These other ones, stupid. They did not see me.
hey. I'd not
What?
be
You didn't.
Dinar's gonna snap his fingers in the kobold's face.
Yeah.
And use
You're not talking to me. You're talking to the captain.
And use prestidigitation to cause a couple little sparks in front of his face. Listen here, Kissik.
What?
You need to give us information, or I don't see any reason why I don't let my big friend here find a new stool on your body.
Wait, what?
He's going to poop on me? Please
No,
don't
I
poop
can
your
understand
stool
how
on
you
me.
could get to that point. No, I was going to say...
I will poop on you if you don't give him answers.
Oh, no.
I was more meaning I was just going to let him sit
Torque
on
does
you,
not
but-
understand this threat, but he's just like so devoted to like backing up Dinar that he's like, yes, I will relieve myself on you unless you give us the information that we desire.
Mike, give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Ooh, advantage even after that crap?
Well, he is being held by, but
Oh.
he is being held by Torque.
True.
It seems like a good threat, all things considered.
Intimidation.
It really does.
With advantage. Oh, geez, that one left the thing. All right, that's a 7. Oh, 2 17s. All right, 17 plus my intimidation of 1, 18.
Okay. You see, he's dangling upside down. He's just like,
Okay. I tell you. Blood is rushing to my head. Don't you put me down. I talk. I promise I talk. Please.
I just flip him so I'm holding him like by the scruff of his neck instead, so he's right side up.
Now the blood's not rushing to your head.
The four of you are, okay. I won't say stupid. I've been hiding on your ship since Portal of the Arias.
Really?
You know my boss.
Runix.
You said it's not me. I didn't give it away. Kissik is clever.
I'm gonna put you upside down again now. I liked you better that way.
Please. No, I told you. You guys said not hide it. I tell you.
I flip him back.
Oh, I get dizzy from this.
in Draconic, he just starts like letting off like a string of curses. Really creative ones as well.
Quite the vocabulary on this one, Captain.
You've been with us since Porto de Arias.
Yeah. Kissik is very good at hiding. That's why boss recruited me. Tell me what.
All right, you little thing.
He
If you
forced me.
so
tell
much
me,
as touched any of my booze,
No.
I don't really think the
Kissik
kobolds
don't
are
drink.
interested in your booze.
Kissik stays sober so that I can spy better.
okay.
How exactly do you report back to Runix, Kissik?
That's a good question.
I don't
You don't.
contact. No, he contact me.
How?
And then you respond.
He talks in my head. I don't know. Then I tell him things.
Message doesn't work that far, and sending is one way.
I don't know. He talks in my head, and I can tell him things back.
When you tell him things back, does he respond to you again?
No. Well, I mean, not right away. Sometimes I don't hear from him for days, for weeks, for months. Kissik always spying for him and always different missions. This one, I didn't want to go because I'd never been away from port before, but I didn't like this place. I miss the sand.
Well, yeah, the sand is kind of quickly disappearing here. So, did you get on our ship when we left the port last?
I was on ship when ship came back into port. Next wanted to know what you were up to, and then all kinds of crazy things started happening, and there was the doors were fighting themselves, and Kissik kind of waited and hid on the ship, was scared.
So you were
And then you
waiting.
came on the ship, and then you took the ship away.
So you were waiting on our ship for like a week and a half before we left.
What have you been eating?
Well, yeah, he's a kobold.
We have
tell
that
me-
many rats.
Well, not that many.
Not anymore.
He's like a barn cat captain. He helps keep the pests at a manageable level.
Yeah,
I mean, he
except-
fits into the bilges pretty good too, I bet.
I hid some rations, but when you guys docked too, before everything got stopped, they put rations away, a little bit here and there, a little bit. Kissik very smart with rations. I know how to survive a long time.
Yeah. Kissik, are you making yourself invisible? Do you have that ability?
No.
Then how exactly are you doing that?
It's a ring. It's a ring. It's a ring. It's a ring.
I show you.
Please do.
No.
Yeah, no, Torque, don't let him go.
I've got a sturdy grip, Captain.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll hold
He
him in
reaches-
both hands if I need to.
He's got like really tattered kind of like scraps of leather that he's kind of like made this like makeshift outfit. And he like reaches in and kind of unlatches like one fold. There's kind of a hidden pouch in there. And he pulls out a vial. It seems to have a couple more in there. And it appears to be empty. And he kind of sloshes around and there's like nothing in it. He goes,
Next, give me this. I drink it. I disappear.
It's an
How many of
invisible
those-
potion. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Do you
How
have
many
more
of those do you
those?
have?
On me.
How many more do you have?
Well, there's an easy way to find out,
Flick, frisk him.
True.
I have two. I have two.
he pulls out the second one. He's like, there's the other bottle's like,
This was empty. This would look empty, but not empty.
We'll take all of them, even the empty one.
I guess I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
Not really.
Kissik, I have a question for you.
Okay. Yes, big one.
Your boss, Runix, if you were to find out that we were able to capture you and we sent you back, would he kill you for your insubordination?
Are you a dead man either way? Is what he's asking.
Well, we could. So we do. We we know a nice kobold. We could put in a good word.
Yeah, but
Well-
Get you a nice, warm, cozy place in a volcano.
My thought actually was that
Volcano.
Captain, if you
Venom
would
is sand,
entertain
not lava.
Captain Dinar, if you would entertain an idea of mine for a second, we are in need of a new cabin boy. And if this cabin boy happens to have much information on one of our enemies, then all the better, wouldn't you say?
In fact, if we have a cabin boy who can, on the regular, communicate with our oh so hated villainous enemy, and he happens to not specify what has changed about his situation, we can very well do some very nice mischief.
you see the
Torque
kobold's
will,
eyes
like,
kind of
raise-
go big, and he's like,
You know what? I
Torque
don't
will raise
like-
Kissip up to eye level and be like, it would be much of a better living arrangement for you. You wouldn't have to hide and pretend that you're not there. Free
I
room and
cannot-
board, all the
I cannot
rats you can
lie.
eat.
I cannot lie to Runix. He knows. He will know. He reads my mind. If I lie to him, he'll know.
yeah,
I'll make my
that's
brain explode.
What if
We can.
That's-
what if you were so drunk that you thought you were telling the truth?
no.
Don't drink.
We could protect you, Kissik. We've already killed your boss once. It was quite easy.
That wasn't
Yes, it was.
Runix.
as this is all going on,
I was gonna say, are we like in the middle of the street or something?
Yeah,
here
yeah,
from
we are.
from off the
We,
side, kind of
we sequester him
leaning,
off to like a little alley.
leaning up against the trebuchet. Serena's just been kind of watching the whole thing, like flicking dagger, and she says, gentlemen, I could always find use for a sneaky little kobold as well if working for you doesn't turn out. But curious, I'm glad you caught your prey here. I saw him running across the yard.
You saw him running across the yard.
I did.
Yeah, she probably knows spells to let you see invisible things.
Eh,
I have my tricks.
Fair
Do you sell
enough.
scrolls?
I'm out of money. I can't buy scrolls.
I mean, we can negotiate.
I
Hey,
have
do
a couple.
you have everything in hand here, though? I can go back to my shop, but
That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
up for
No,
our
we
captain
no
to
we
decide.
no we have Kissik in hand.
right. If you're not going to use him, bring him my way. I think I could always use a servant.
Hey,
a
short
wink.
stuff. When was the last time you checked in, or Runix checked in with you? Have you been in contact since you left?
It's been a while.
Like
Maybe
since
Now, here's a question.
a week? So since we left port.
Yeah.
Before we got here.
What
Uh,
does Runix tell you
nothing.
when he comes in to report? You said he responds to you, meaning that he would communicate to you in some way. What does he say?
Tells me
Here's
what
a
I need to
question.
do. Tells me what to listen for. Tells me. I tell him what I heard, what I see, and he tells me what to do next.
And what kind of things is he listening for?
He wants to know what you're doing, where you're going, what you're saying.
So he probably knows a good deal already then.
He knows a bit more than I'm comfortable with him knowing.
All the more reason to
Spots of
keep him
things.
close by, in my opinion.
Well, if Kissik's
work for
living
you?
arrangements change, Runix is going to wonder why. And then Kissik is going to have to lie or just give it up, in which case Kissik's probably dead because apparently Runix can melt brains.
Yeah, I
don't know
mean,
how
what
much I buy that, but
what I'm understanding is that he can't lie because it's more like his brain is being read. Now, whether that's true or not,
Well,
remains to be seen.
well, we can fix that. We can give him some protection from that. That's easy enough to do.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, we can totally do that. You see, Dinar here, he's a great wizard, and he has the power to shield minds.
Give me a deception check.
And I'm
with
going
advantage.
to elbow Dinar very hard to the side
Give me a deception check. I'll give you
With-
advantage.
with advantage.
Because
Cool.
Kissik
I don't
is
even.
stupid.
Kissik is stupid.
I do just want to really quickly check something. Creature must make it. It's friendly. Deception checks with advantage. Okay, so there's no point in me casting any spells because I'm already being given advantage. All right. The Thepthon. 21.
Whoosh.
I'm very good at lying.
21.
I'm
Wow.
very good at lying. I don't know why anyone is surprised at this.
Some might say too good, even.
You can never be too good.
He kind of looks back and forth to you. He goes,
You can stop him from blowing up the brain. From
Give him a
reading my
little-
thoughts.
Give him a little razzle dazzle, Dinar.
Yeah, no, I got him covered. Don't you worry. Minor illusion, a tinfoil hat on his head.
There you go.
You
It's
are
at
now
this-
protected, my friend. It'll soak in, and you won't even know it's there.
it's at this point as out of the Ebengard's garrison comes Ganymede. Apparently finished his business there and on his way over to the berth. And as he steps out into the square and sees you all, and I'm trying to keep it in, Devin. You're gonna make me laugh. Stop. He kind of points. He looks over. What is this? What's going on? Well, to meet you at the berth. Why?
Yeah,
Why
we're
you
just
have
having a
kobolds?
conversation. We're just
What's
having a
going on here?
conversation with our friend here.
New recruit.
We're hiring people for our ship.
I just lifted him up so he could speak to us at eye level. Isn't that right, Kissik?
Yeah.
And you nod his head for him. Full Muppet.
Don't recognize this kobold. He's not in town here. Doesn't look like sailor. I think you better tell me what is happening.
Look,
We take all kinds, to be honest.
look, Ganymede, we've just learned that we've been carrying a stowaway since the port of Darius, so we're just
It's
dealing with
official
a little
ship business.
Yeah.
Stowaway.
Yes.
from?
From
Porto Diarius, if not
Darius.
further.
Why? Keep in mind, I am the Dewan of Defense.
All right. What do you know about a guy named Runix?
Just tell this guy everything.
Don't know the name. Should I?
Well,
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But you.
Nah, he's some minor
so.
chump from Port of Sands, and he just wants to keep tabs on us for some reason. So,
Probably because we ticked him off.
well,
So this kobold stole away on your ship and has entered into our port without permission and has been spying on you. Does that pretty much sum it up?
Yes.
Torque is just gonna look, just sort of side-eye Dinar, but not say anything.
Yes, but this kobold is essentially a slave for Runix. He's here pretty much
under duress?
under duress, against his will, is what he was
Interesting.
just explaining to us. So
this kobold is a threat to our defense at the moment and is spying and able to communicate. Kobold, you can talk to your boss.
I wouldn't
Not
call
anymore, he can't.
Come
Yeah,
on,
I
I can get the truth out of you if I want to. There's wizards all around.
I wouldn't call him a threat to your defenses. He's not here. He doesn't care about the Ivory Spire. He's here spying on us because we ticked off his boss.
Technically speaking, he's a member of our crew. He just wasn't one we were aware of. He is our current rat boy.
There's some
Don't think the
truth to that.
technicality really works that way.
That's actually, that is how it works. I believe.
Well, here's
I'm
the
pretty
thing.
sure.
He entered, since this kobold, as a spy for sounds like a nefarious individual from somewhere else, and has entered into this port.
I was going to say,
Really?
if you said nefarious person from the Port of Sands, I was just going to say you got redundant parts of that sentence.
I must insist that you hand him over to us for imprisonment.
Well, Captain, one of your crew members here is being asked to be imprisoned upon the place we have made port.
Oh, come now. He's not a crew member.
Well, he
You're
is
not
now.
stupid.
We technically signed him on. So, you were too late.
Ganymede, is
Enemy
there any
holds
way-
up a finger, and about half a dozen guards all nearby just crossbows up.
Hey, listen, you want more promotions? We can help you out.
Keep in mind that I have asked where I did not need to. I will not request again. We take the security of our port very seriously, given events that are transpiring around here. And if we are to trust you or work together at all for any purposes, including since you have asked us for some sort of provisions, harboring a fugitive will not work in your favor.
If I may
Fair point.
forgive our transgressions, Mr. Ganymede, our crew is a bit of a bleeding heart at times, and so seeing a creature this pathetic as what I hold in my hand, we were struck with such a sense of pity that it was only our instinct to protect such a horrible, wretched, defenseless creature as this.
And to add on to that, we are horribly negligent of any of the laws of your current land.
If we
Speaking
are
of
to hand
which,
him
is there a
over
way
to
is there somewhere we can go to read about all of those laws? I'd rather avoid this kind of thing in the future by having all of that knowledge.
He is eager to learn, as am I.
Captain Dinar, I suggest that you get your crew in hand.
You heard him, everybody. Hold hands.
I will communicate with you going forward, since you shall speak for your crew and determine the fate of this little one and those who serve you.
We're
Please
doomed.
understand that I have no intention of putting things at odds between us, but you value this creature spying on you, who you just admitted moments ago was working for your enemy. Is a spy, is a stowaway, over anything that we are to do together here.
If
Dinar, you need to get rid of this guy before I do something that you're gonna really hate me for.
Ganymede, if I may.
Which guy are you referring to?
Ganymede, I'm assuming.
Wizard.
Ganymede, if I may. Our crew is a band of misfits, to put it lightly. All of us. Forgive us if we're perhaps a little bit more sympathetic to this creature here, who is, yes, spying on us, but against his will. For a moment, try to put yourself in his shoes.
As a former slave.
Let's imagine, as well, given where you're from, you know what goes down in Carafall. But let's say for a moment that somebody was holding your family hostage and said, we will kill them unless you do this.
Mr. Donar, do not presume to know anything about what I have experienced and the troubles I have gone through. I will caution you not to continue that tale any further and presume what you do not know.
Fine.
I think his tail stopped growing when he hit the age of 21.
Somebody please mute that one.
But
Permanently.
For a moment, Ganymede, imagine if somebody had your family, threatened to kill them if you didn't do this thing.
I do not need to imagine, but go on.
Well, wouldn't you want to be shown a little grace if you were captured in that instance? This kobold doesn't mean us any harm. He's being held against his will. Threat of death if he disobeys.
And you know this, what, based on the 5 minutes you've known him and what he's told you?
Based on our experience with Runix. The man takes captives, he uses people against their will to accomplish his nefarious deeds.
Tell you what. We will take this kobold into custody. We will determine the truth of his allegiances with some spells that we have on hand. Shall not hurt him at all. I give you my word on that. Unless we find out that he is posing a direct threat. But if the story is as you check out, then perhaps we can converse about what fate awaits him.
May I make one request?
Go on.
If you find him to be untruthful and the story he shared with us is not real, would you tell us before you deal with him?
I will consider it. It depends on what he tells us. If he were to say that he is a direct threat to us and is spying on not only you but others, or some other such nefariousness, or that we are being watched at the moment, for example, then we'll have no choice but to end his life immediately.
In Draconic, Torg is just going to say, Captain, I think this is the best deal we could hope for in this situation.
And Dinar will respond, well, no. Dinar will just kind of open his palm, point it back towards, not as in a stopping motion, but as a, yeah, got ya. All right, Torque, let him go.
Torque will just extend an arm and just sort of drop him into Ganymede's hands.
Three guards that are nearby of the half dozen that were kind of on watch move forward. They actually, perhaps to your surprise, they don't rough him up at all. They actually, very carefully kind of stand him up, turn around, put the cuffs on him, and kind of walk him into the barracks, treating him pretty decently, actually, all things considered. And Ganymede kind of says, I give you my word. He will be treated with fairness. He will be given the chance to explain. This is how we do have due process here. We have laws. And depending on what he reveals to us, then his outcome shall be decided.
I am sure that that comes as peace of mind to the captain.
Before you presume any more about what I think, what I value, do not forget that as the Diwan of Defense, I often don't have the luxury of sympathy or putting my own personal ideas first. My job is to defend the tower, to defend this port. And I will do that against all threats. It is my duty. Do you understand duty?
More than you may expect. We will defer to your authority while within the walls of your city, sir.
Then I hope that we understand each other.
Dinar will turn around, visibly upset with what's happened, and start walking away. And when he feels comfortably out of earshot, he's going to pull out his copper wire, fasten it around his hands, and just bring his hand up to his chest, pointing back towards Kissik. I'm trusting that these men will treat you fairly. You better be honest.
As we're walking to catch up with you, I will grab Tayland and I got 5 gold, says the kobold escapes.
Dinar, in response to your message, you hear, "Ah! He's in my head! Oh. You can do that too?" And that's all you get.
I'll take that bet.
Oh man, I want to do something stupid.
If you do, just please don't tell Torque about it first, because he will try to prevent you from doing it.
Yep.
The Dwani kind of stands there for a second and he says, I understand that perhaps this has soured our relationship. However, my request is still on the table, and I would wish to discuss if you're interested in doing some investigating.
Dinar will take a look at the
I will leave that with you.
party members. Try to make eye contact.
Torque will nod as subtly as possible.
Tayland?
I tried to warn you.
Flick?
Yeah.
Dinar will turn back around. Where should we talk about this?
If you need to gather any supplies or what you need in town, please do so. When you're ready, just come to the just beyond the inner gate here, and he kind of points to the gate that leads sort of inland. There is a building just beyond that houses one of our teleportation devices. I will meet you there.
We appreciate your generosity.
I appreciate your willingness to share our mutual information to mutual benefits regarding this much larger threat that looms over us than smaller matters. For seeing the bigger picture. Excuse me, I must see to the kobolds handling and make sure that the guards inside do not get a little bit carried away. Tell you what, I will get this Lieutenant Gary that you mentioned to partially oversee Kissik. What's his name? Kisar?
Kissik.
Kissik. Lieutenant Gary will oversee Kissik's treatment. See you shortly. He turns and enters into the avant-garde barracks.
Man.
Well,
Is there really a bigger threat than fascists? I don't know, man. Talon, I think we got to load up and leave town, right?
I will be the first to say that I thoroughly enjoy saying I told you so.
Yep.
Wizards.
Man, he just forgets his roots or something. I don't know. I say we get our supplies and Get the hell out of port.
The only issue now is that if we leave after promising a meeting, will we be followed?
Oh, problem.
Or stopped.
We get our supplies. We have a brief, polite meeting. Hopefully, get our kobold and get the hell out of port. How's that sound?
Yeah.
With those deliberations in mind, let's take a short break. And we'll be back. Stay tuned.
It's good.
We'll be back.
Whispers in the window are angry waves. Way over the sea of souls. Down to the mists as the ocean slaves. Way over the sea of souls. Way over the sea of souls. Way over the sea of souls. Oyster sails round the eddies and shoals. Hey, ho, it's the sea of souls. Oh, way, ho, the sea of souls. Way, oh, the sea of souls. Oyster sails round the eddies and shoals. Hey, ho, it's the sea of souls. Hey, ho, it's the sea of souls. Sea of souls.
Greetings, wary travelers. My name is Mike, and I will be playing the role of Dinar Neurixius, dragonborn wizard on the Sea of Souls. Allow me to get into character and we can learn a little bit more about this pale golden dragon. Being chosen is supposed to be a good thing. Chosen by the gods to serve a purpose. However, it can mean facing a life alone. I was born in our homeland, Drakor, in the east. And though these scales are supposed to be a blessing, I was reviled by so many. I could see their jealousy, could feel their stares. My own people shunned me, and so I left. I still drew stares when I arrived in Stormhaven. It's hard to miss these scales. But the dwarves were far more accepting of me. I learned I could put my magic to good use out on the seas, so I served aboard a ship, adding my arcana to their arsenal. Maybe one day I'll return home. Maybe they will welcome me as Verithan's champion. Or at least, as kin. For now, though, life among the Gungrim is good. I am used to standing out here, used to towering over this good folk. But what they lack in size, they make up for in heart.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I play the goblin Flick Dogslicer, an Eldritch Knight fighter. Once upon a time, there was a goblin named Flick. That's me. He was a good egg, but as a recently emancipated man, he didn't necessarily have the finest grasp on the rules of free society, and often ended up on the wrong side of the law. So anyway, I'm in this back alley, minding my own business, rooting through the trash, when this old guy in a blue dress and a big floppy hat with stars and crap all over it comes out of nowhere screaming, "Oh my god, it's a goblin," and starts shooting fire out of his hands at me. So I shanked him. I didn't mean to kill him per se, but, heat of the moment and all that. Now even I knew how this would play out with the guard, so I'm looking for a quick escape. But this old guy didn't even have the courtesy of carrying a coin purse, just this big stupid book. So, yoink, and I beat feet to the pier and sign aboard the first ship that's looking for crew. Long story short, with enough time and patience, even a bozo like me can figure out a little magic from that big old book. I joined a good crew and enjoy my life as a seafaring mercenary, trying to keep ahead of the law and maybe make a coin or two for myself. The end. By Flick.
Greetings, tale seekers and story watchers. I am Devon, medieval enthusiast and D&D veteran since my 11th birthday when I received the 3rd edition starter set. Led to a bit of a collection. I will be playing the part of Tayland Wavesinger, human bard and mariner, master of the weaponized sea shanty. Oh, it'd be alright if the wind was in our sails. Tayland is a man slowly being consumed by his own faults. He drinks far too much, and has quite a ruthless disposition against those he dislikes. But he still tries to do what's right when he can. As for his goals, well, I'll let him tell you. Oh, me name is Tayland Wavesinger, and I quickly tell to you of a man that I am a-hunting across the ocean blue, with power over the sea and sky. Believe me when I say that when I finally find the bastard, it'll be his last day.
In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alf, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man. Down to a sunless sea. Torque is a Tortle barbarian, presumed to be the sole survivor of the Loggerhead tribe. Even by Tortle standards, Torque is a taciturn individual, never deigning to use 5 words where 2 will suffice, and as such has been less than forthcoming in sharing his personal history with his compatriots. What is known of Torque is that he was discovered on a remote island by a passing merchant vessel, having apparently been marooned there for some years in the wake of a shipwreck which destroyed the rest of his tribe. It is for this reason that Torque holds a special reverence for Desfuna, goddess of the ocean, whom he believes spared his life in the ocean storm that decimated his kin. Having spent the better part of a decade in near total isolation, Torque is unfamiliar with the ways of the modern world, and his social skills are somewhat lacking. It is perhaps for this reason that he has chosen to align himself with allies who are blessed in the gift of gab, as he continues on his pilgrimage, the destination of which is unknown even to himself. Hi everyone, my name is Jack, and I am not a professional voice actor or performer by any means. However, I do have a serious passion for tabletop RPGs, and I hope that you enjoy this upcoming game as much as we're going to enjoy playing it.
So then the goblin says to the kobold, I know you are. But what am I?
The aristocrats.
Oh, rest in peace, Bob Saget.
Oh yeah, was that too soon? I apologize.
Thank you. Anyway, welcome back. So the Duan of Defense has made his way back into the avant-garde, kind of leaving you out in the square as the remainder of the guards kind of move back away, going back to patrol, leaving you to do what you will until you're ready to either follow through and meet him at the teleportation circle or do else wise.
I mean, is there anything else to do? I mean, I guess there was still the matter of meeting with those prospective hires. Captain, maybe now would be a good time to split up. Half of us handle the situation with, I believe it was Salty and Rumrat. And then the other half of us go and provide a debriefing for Sir Ganymede there.
I vote recruitment.
I think that's probably wise, Tayland.
Oh, Taylor, you don't want to go talk to the wizard?
I think if you went and
Not-
talked to the
not-
wizard,
not
we'd all
really.
be dead. All right.
I am now on a goal that I'm going to have every single wizard we meet at one point or another ask somebody to shut me up.
I don't think that's hard.
You are very successful.
It took longer for this guy than Jordan.
True. All right, Torque, why don't you go with Tayland and work on recruitment since you're footing the bill for that for a little bit?
Why do I have to be with Torque?
This is probably for the best. I will do my best, Captain.
Might as well just set me up with a statue.
That's all right.
That would be preferable. Much
Do you need
less
someone to keep
talkative.
him honest? Let's go.
Yeah.
Just make sure to uphold the statute of law.
Oh.
Ugh.
No need to be so
All right.
stone-faced, Jack.
That was hard to listen to.
Don't crack under pressure.
I mean, granted, it was a pretty good one, but let's get going on here.
He's gonna fall to pieces.
All right. Tayland and Torque will pick up or follow you two first as you head. After kind of a quick scan, a little bit of asking, when not at the berth, any potential dockhands or deckhands and stuff tend to hang out by the harbor master office, by the pier, where the ships are. So if you wish to meet up with Kadana and potential recruits, that would be the place to go.
All right.
Anyway, Torque, you see, what you then do is you grind it into dust. So let me make sure you understand the joke, because I don't think you understand the joke, because you're not laughing.
Well, as you know, the jokes that you have to explain are typically the funniest ones.
I shouldn't have to explain the joke.
So you're saying that it should be funny on its own merits?
It would be funny if you were as intelligent as the normal people of society.
I picture Torque on the inside is just going like,
So anyway, I tell
Or perhaps
him
inside his shell.
Now, I believe that we were meant to be meeting with them here. I wonder if there's anything delaying them.
it could be any number of things. Where to start? Traffic. Maybe they got stopped by some buskers. There could be a
Oh,
parade.
hang on. I think I see them. I think I see them coming now.
Looking up by the harbor master, you do see the familiar shape of Kadana, the Dragonborn, kind of steps out, stretching. Two other individuals with her. One, indeed a salty looking dwarf, and a rather ragged looking human woman. And,
Ahoy, hoy!
Hey, these are the ones telling you about. This was Torque, right? Torque and Tailend.
Tailend Wave Singer at your service, my good.
Yes. These are crew I tell you about. This is Salty Gren, and this is Lola, but don't call her Lola. Rumrat. Rumrat is red. I don't know why. Lola is a nice name, but she don't want it. The Lola just kind of like rolls her eyes.
So your associate tells us that you are both interested in some work aboard a vessel.
The dwarf seems to kind of take a moment to look the two of you over and kind of gives a nod. Aye. You look like you're capable individuals. We are indeed looking for work on a ship. Of course, there aren't too many ships that go around these days, so...
Now you come
You got crew.
You come recommended quite highly by your friend here, who says that she was previously crewing on the Intrepid Devil. Do you have any comparable sailing experience then?
Well, not as fancy as the Devil, perhaps, but I've been on about a dozen or so ships over the last 200 years, so, I mean, we'll call that experience. I suppose it's experience.
I mean, that sounds like experience to me. Now then, how many shanties do you know?
What, in common or dwarven?
You're hired.
How are you with knots?
Not bad. I see what I did there.
Yes, you made yourself seem terrible.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid that you will fit right in with this crew.
Well, what can I say?
How about yourself, Rumrat? Any past experience? Any special skills?
Well, I mean, I can brew a decent grog. For starters,
you're hired.
Pretty much handy wherever you need me. I've got a bit of very basic medical skills. Well, I can patch up a wound. You know, if any limbs missing, I can cauterize ends of wounds. But I know my way around the sails and rigging. Not afraid to climb right up there, even in the worst of storms. I ain't mind getting soaking wet as long as I can be of service. In fact, I kind of like it. I like the rainy weather. Don't ask me why. Just do.
That
he's a bit weird.
That would be useful. It's a she, Tailend.
Aye.
I'm not even of your species, and I can see that.
Yes, Lola, the human woman. You can, as you see, like she's got very, very pale skin, with like barely noticeable freckles, and underneath the sort of grime, like the salty air grime, you can see that her dark reddish brown hair has got lots of knots and stuff in it. Not very kept very well, but she holds herself quite well. With confidence.
Well, you sound like a woman of many talents.
Aye.
As it is, I will not sugarcoat the subject. In terms of crew, we are currently spread very thin and could benefit from all the help that we have. Having an experienced medic would certainly be a boon.
Well, I wouldn't say experienced medic, but I mean, like I say, I can...
You know first aid?
Sure, yeah.
You're a medic.
All right. If you say so.
As we said, stretch thin.
Right. How... Is that your boat there, the ketch?
That it would be, yes. The Radiant Scales is our current banner.
Radiant Dawn?
The Radiant Dawn is our current banner. There was a bit of a back and forth on that. I may have lost track.
Well, if only a ketch, I mean, you don't need a massive crew, so, I mean, the three of us can, we'll do pretty good in a spot.
Yes, I think this will suffice for now. not to put too fine a point on it, how soon can you make yourselves ready for departure? Personal belongings and the like.
As soon as you need us.
You want to just start
Excellent.
moving onto the ship right now?
I mean,
then
it's not like we're doing much around here. We're just sort of sitting.
Perfect.
waiting for ships
Welcome
to come
aboard.
So I mean,
I imagine that we will be departing in the morning, if not sooner. So now may be a good time to collect your personal belongings. And we will depart as soon as the captain gives us the say-so.
so should three of us just go on board? We have permission. Yeah. Do we have to wait for captain, or you just tell us we go on ship now?
Well, if you have any personal belongings to collect from wherever you are, I would suggest you go and pack those first. We will probably be spending many days at sea. I would hate for you to be without your accoutrement.
Look at us. You think we have lots of... No, we got the bag each. We're ready to go. We're always ready, hoping that ship will come and hire us. So, I mean, we'll just get it and go.
Right, well, in that case, make yourselves at home. But
not too
Okay.
at home.
not two at home, yes.
We'll get lay of ship. We'll get lay of ship, figure out what is where and where is what, and be ready to serve. Ah,
All right. Why don't I give these three the tour then? Tayland, if there are any, can you think of any supplies which we'll need before our departure?
Yes.
Go get them.
On second thought, perhaps it would be better for you to provide the tour. I will handle provisions. And then Tor will come in and just sort of conspiratorially, we've been having a bad go of things in terms of trustworthiness. Keep an eye on these three. I'm not entirely sure where they stand as of yet.
Of course. I will keep them so distracted by ensuring that we are in proper harmony that they won't have time to do anything else.
Yes, well, distractions are what you do best, so I trust that this is in good hands.
Yes, I am quite distractingly handsome.
And with that, Torque will depart into town.
Okay.
All right, now remember,
Go visit,
the way that it works is I will start with a phrase and then you will reply with the phrase. It's always the same reply. It's very simple. But we have to make sure we're all in some semblance of cohesion. And if you are a high pitch or a low pitch, we need to keep you in a certain register so that you don't drown out the rest of people. All right, now, and a 1 and a 2.
Gran just he kind of salty Gran looks at the ground, looks at you as you're talking, just looks at the air. Oh, sorry, you done telling us how to sing a shanty?
Yo ho. Yes.
I'll start running dwarf and you see if you can keep up. Oh, you can bust nail of it. It's just starts going off, and the other two start joining in. They know their shanties. I'm not
Write that
sure,
down.
but
Write
they
that
know
down.
their shanties.
But we got to make sure that they can harmonize with my beautiful voice.
They are experienced sailors, so no, they can't. All right, we will move over to Dinar and Fleck. So were you heading directly to the potential meeting with Ganymede?
Yeah.
Or what's your plan at the moment?
Yeah, I'm assuming that we have made arrangements for supplies already, and that is being loaded, so that
Okay.
just confirm that stuff is being loaded, and then we'll make our way.
Okay. So as you move through the gates on the other side of the town leading to the mainland, between the port and the spire, the guards indicate that they'd already been given notice via message from the Ebon Guard garrison, that's the word, that you'd be expected. So they open the gates for you and direct you towards a octagonal building just off the road on the other side. And the building is marked with a variety of arcane runes kind of on the windows around it. And in Draconic script, actually, over the entrance, it simply says Port Circle. And after waiting for not too long, Ganymede follows behind after he was kind of finished up at the garrison. And as he passes through the gates, he sees the two of you waiting there. Yes, good friends. I take it the fact that you are here is indication that you are willing to continue with our possible agreement, arrangements, yes?
We'll hear you out, yeah.
Good. Look, I can tell that the way things transpired in town there, not to your liking. I will apologize for that, but I cannot apologize for ensuring that I keep this place safe. You've seen what is out there. You've seen the black tide. You've seen how many things are going on. We have laws. Just because you may have some experience, I cannot simply say, to hell with laws. So, we find intruder, we must question. But we do not torture. We do not treat prisoners with rough hands. That is not our way. As you say, I have some experience being on the receiving end of such things, and I do not run my defense system that way. Kissik will be treated well. I give you my word.
What's my spider senses saying about that? The old insight check.
Insight with advantage.
With advantage.
I guess that makes sense. Because you're
as
trying to
a
get read.
Carafolian, yeah.
There's a dirty 20. About time.
You can never be too careful about reading
Oh.
situations. So. He strikes you as a very forward individual, very forthright individual. You don't sense any. There's no like twitch of the finger or tells that would kind of indicate that he might be trying to hide anything or giving you a story, as it were. As far as you can tell, he's pretty level.
All right, the hackles are down a bit at this point. Then, yeah, just I'll level with you. It's just the pinhead this guy works for. He just really got my goat, and I anything that I can take away from him, including his minions, is points for me.
I understand. And if is it as you say, if he is an unwilling participant, perhaps we can find ways to liberate him from the influence of this individual you speak of.
As a fellow countryman, I will offer my services forward as his parole officer if needed.
We will keep that in mind for sure.
Awesome. All right, let's go strike some deals.
Like Ganymede, he gives a bow, sort of a half bow, and as he does so, he puts his pinky finger and his thumb kind of together with his hands and does this, and you immediately recognize that as a sign of the red hand.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I will return the gesture as subtly as I can. Not hiding it from Dinar, but definitely from any of the other, like if there's still guards and stuff around here. And just
there's a handful around, yeah.
Yeah. So just as subtly as he does, I'll return the gesture.
Sure. Dinar, if you are watching this exchange, you can give me a perception check if you'd like.
Well, Mike is trying to remember if I know anything about the red hand or if that doesn't. Oh, that was almost 20. That's my passive is higher at 11. Well, okay. 9. So my passive is higher.
You're not really paying too much attention to their hands, so you don't catch anything.
Okay.
But if nothing else,
you do see Flick kind of like relax a little bit.
Yeah, I've definitely relaxed at this point.
Seem to be more at ease with Ganymede at this point. Yeah.
All right, let's hear what's your proposal.
So, we were talking about okay, we're outside of city. We're talking about gates, portals. Just the idea of teleporting, moving from one space to another. You said that this is something you yourself were more familiar with. I see as wizard that this would be something, perhaps if you cannot do yet yourself, that you at least know of such abilities. Right?
It is something that I am studying over time, yes.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. I'm totally on this. And I'll produce out of one of my pockets another origami, one of the little cranes that people, yeah. Like, see, folding space like folding paper. I tell you, just got to practice.
You're very wise, very intuitive, very simple way of explaining a very complex thing. I like it.
Hey man, I got a good teacher, and I sort of gesture to the oversized book in my backpack. So,
all over this world, the Isles even, not even going to their lands and beyond, there are many ancient ruins from the cataclysms past, from previous eras of the world. Many mysterious things. Included in some of those, we find some sort of artifacts and things that don't always make sense to us, don't always line up with archaeology and history and what we know of ancient empires. Things of particular origin, perhaps not from here. We found some ruins of this nature inland from here. And we've had no luck in accessing. But some of my colleagues believe that this place is tied to chaos magic, to the Ataxian. Kamari, she is Dawn of Ataxia. She's going to meet us here actually in a few moments, hopefully. She's on her way. She is expert of these runes. I'll let her inform you of more about their nature and what they are. But you have encountered more than most of us here have personally. We've studied and researched, and we know a lot of, theoretical. But when you come in, as you have practical, right? You've seen it. You've had it. More life experience, maybe call it. And so, what we know up here and what you have encountered, maybe we put together, and we can figure out what this ruin is, maybe how it works, what if it's good, if it's bad, if it's connected with to risk it out in the ocean.
So you found a ruin on the land.
Yes.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. It is in woods that, we know these woods are there. There was some strange monoliths and stuff that were in woods before, but almost seemingly phasing in to existence or coming from somewhere else. More and more of it started to appear. The wood started to recede from this place, and more stones and archaeologist stuff kind of started to come into place, and the natural stuff started to pull back. It's very strange.
I'm going to channel my inner Tailend for just one moment here and say, so you're recruiting a bunch of sailors to go underground in this ruin? Is that the...
No. It doesn't appear to be anything underground. You're not recruiting it because you're sailors. We're recruiting it because you have experienced the chaos, to put it mildly, firsthand, the black ooze creatures of this nefarious entity, and Ataxian magic, all that stuff. You've been in the thick of it, so it is that for which we want to bring you in, not because you're sailors. Obviously, it's forest. We're not going to sail in the trees. Come on.
I'm just asking the questions I know he would. So
these ruins, they're appearing more, like more is coming in over time.
More have shown up recently, yes.
I'm not sure if it's just the trees that are pulling away and revealing them if they were always there, but really well hidden, or if they are sort of phasing into this realm from somewhere else.
And these are made structures.
They are what? Sorry?
They're made structures. They're not natural.
No, not natural.
And
perhaps not even of this world.
Well, okay. So there's not an obvious maker behind them, humans or dwarves or elves, gnomes.
There is no architecture that we recognize from any of our current inhabitants of the Isles. They don't line up with any known empires of the past. Now, given there is much of the past as we don't know because so much is lost in ancient cataclysms.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we have a lot to speculate on and not a lot of answers yet, but we're hoping to find more.
So what specifically would you have us do?
You are adventuring types?
Yeah.
You can fight?
Yes.
You can delve? Dungeon delve? You can explore? You can combine what you have experienced and see if there's any connection. Maybe you see symbols that you notice. Maybe there's creatures, or maybe there's some sort of connection. Maybe feeling anything that you have encountered in the outside world. It's that way, but look, let's be honest. Those of us here, lots of us, we are very insulated. Okay, we spend most of our time in Spire. Most of the time here, we do lots of research. We do lots of. Some of us are more practical and get out in the world, but most of us, not so much. We do most of our study here. So we need experience of yours to help us.
You want to send in a band of adventurers to these ruins?
A company.
Accompanied by
Kamari.
Have any adventurers gone into the ruins before?
We have had some guides, some scouts from associated with Tower, some of the Ebba Guard that we've trusted.
And what happened to them?
Nothing. We can't even get in.
You can't get in.
Kamari can explain more. This is more her realm. Like I said, I'm defense. I meet with you, approve, do all that stuff, and then Kamari, she come meet and she knows more. She shouldn't be here actually. She's running a little bit late.
Yeah, I guess the point I'm missing here is what the hell do we get out of it? Like, you guys get more information about your local ruins here, and
Yes.
and we prove ourselves worthy to you. Is that it?
Well, you have requested that we finance you to a certain extent, have you not?
Yeah. So
is there going to be some finance involved with this? Like, let's talk brass tacks here.
I will wait for Kamari. Like I said, this is her bread and butter. It's her decision ultimately. But yes, there will be compensation, and think of it this way: we don't just randomly, ships come in and say, "Hey, can you finance us?" And we go, "Oh yeah, sure. Here, take some money, go have fun." But if it's worth our time, if you are good allies and we can work together to uncover what is happening, to fight against this threat, then by all means, it would be worth our while to support you financially and perhaps in other ways as well.
Well, do you have any way to contact this Kamari person?
Yeah, I could message her, but perhaps I'll do that. One moment.
All right, when he is in the middle of doing his message, it's gonna quick sidebar with Dinar. It's like, hey D, we've got a couple of things that we've got a little experience with, like them crystals from the volcano we ain't never really sorted out. Then there was all that crap like my shield and Talen's gun, and then there's we've got some oddball stuff that we've encountered before, but
Talen's got a gun.
Is this really our wheelhouse?
Well, it's curious that they've got ruins that are phasing into existence that don't have any kind of discernible make. You know, the only ruins that we've experienced were clearly dwarven.
I mean, if the pay is good, I'm willing to do pretty much anything, but I mean, within reason.
She's on her way. She'll be here in a minute. She just got caught up with another business associate that's Spire. It happens. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You having a conversation?
Does what are the languages that Flick knows? That Dinar would know that Flick knows?
You would know that I know Common and Goblin, because those are the things that I wrote on the back of the boat with.
Right. I don't know either of those. Okay. Well, I know Common, but we can't like have a secret conversation.
A moment later, there's a flash from inside the building and kind of like a hum. And a feathered individual steps out. Long, owl-like face, kind of flax, like a long beak. Very, very tall, speckled brown and gray feathers. Her eyes are this really dark, piercing yellow, and very, bird-like mannerisms as she kind of steps out. Very light footsteps. Her hands are kind of held close together. She kind of looks over. Ganymede, it's so good to see you. I am guessing that you are Dinar, and you are Flick. Welcome. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. I am Kamari. She folds her hands out and her wings kind of bow as well. It's this really deep, elaborate bow.
Greg, for clarification, this is a Volar?
This is a Volar. Yes.
Oh, awesome.
One of the Alpha.
And she's got hands and wings, or the hands
and wings separately.
Yep.
You know what? For the chat, I have an image. Let me pull up an image of a Volar.
Throw it up. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. You can continue. I'm gonna have to take a second to find it here.
So you are here to help us with the ruins? Has Ganymede he's told you about it?
I mean, yeah, we help people with lots of things, and they help us back, right? That's the way business works.
Good. Yes, help is good. You're helping people. It's always very nice to help people.
Yeah, that's us. We're the ship the helpful. That's definitely our motto.
Yes. It's also fortuitous, perhaps, that both of you are fractured. Perhaps your other companions are as well. It might help with the ruins, and perhaps you can get in where others haven't been able to. Yes.
Hey man, anything's possible. So like we were telling Ganymede there, if the price is right, we're willing to help. So start talking numbers here, sister.
Well, I understand that you are looking for some financing. We can be patrons of yours in other ways as well.
Such as?
Yeah, how?
Well, we are a magic tower. We have items, we have spells, and we have services that we can offer you.
Got a library?
Yes, of course, we have library. Big one.
Awesome. I'm a big reader, so
we would be willing to talk patronage. You come alongside the Spire, and we help you. We finance. You do things for us, and we support you, and we outfit you, perhaps as well, and we work together to.
I mean, I'm already dressed very fine. I know Talen's very particular about his clothing too, but yeah, we can.
She her head just kind of tilts
I don't think we understand. Maybe I misspoke. I'm not sure.
I think we understand.
Okay.
Kamari, if I may ask.
Yes.
Both you and Ganymede now have mentioned that you were not able to gain access to the ruins.
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit more? Is there some kind of barrier that you cannot cross an entrance, or is there no entrance that you can find?
There is entrance, but we can't go through. We've tried casting spells at it, and all sorts of things. There are runes around it, but none of them activated. From
So
what
there-
I've read, I've tried to put together what some of the runes say, and it seems to be limited access only type of thing. That something is guarding the gate that only certain types of people can get through. I think they might be you.
The right kind of people. Yeah.
We have
All
not
right,
had
so-
any fractured come yet, so perhaps this will prove to be beneficial.
You keep
All right,
using
so
that
let's-
word. You keep calling us.
Yes.
You keep calling us fractured.
Yes.
Would you care to explain? I'm not following you.
My apologies. I assume that you are aware of your how I put this the Texian weave. Yes, it has latched onto you in a way. It is you have become connected to it. So just like there are fractures in the world, the magical things that happen. Sometimes you see the floating islands, and there are magical phenomenon. Sometimes it happens in people too, and I sense it on you,
On me,
both of you.
both of us.
Yes. I'm sorry. I thought you knew.
Denar's
To
gonna
me, it is
look down at
obvious. I
Flick.
forget sometimes that because of my study with the attack scene and the chaos weave, that I've learned to see certain traits and signs of its presence there. I forget sometimes that not everybody sees it the same way that I do, but I see it on you.
Now, you're saying you see it on us.
Yes.
It's not the equipment that we're carrying. It's not Flick's shield.
No. It
It's-
is you. You could disrobe and become naked, and that would still be on you. Please don't. It's awkward.
So, oh.
It's like already halfway.
I mean, I'm already halfway.
Bird like head just kind of like he's like tilts a little bit like
It's curious that you're not aware of it. You don't feel it.
Well,
The touch of chaos.
I
The
mean,
touch of the strange, the unusual.
all of those things attribute to our group very well. Strange, odd,
Yes.
demented. I don't know if you
Oh.
said that word, but that applies.
I did not. What is
I
it?
was only aware of one of our crew exhibiting some kind of Ataxian traits,
Oh.
but it was not us. It was not either me or Flick.
Oh.
It was our human friend Tayland.
Where he is?
Where?
Where?
He's dealing with some of our logistical things back at our ship.
He is not coming.
You would not like him. I don't think he would have very nice things to say to you.
Oh, that's okay.
He's abrasive sometimes.
Sometimes you need things that are abrasive.
I
like
agree.
sandpaper.
I agree. He's very useful. I'm not saying he's useless. But he's down
I
at
would hope not.
he's down at the
It's
ship
not a
dealing
nice
with
thing to
those
say
things.
about people. I would like to meet the others of the crew.
Well,
If they are fractured too, then this could be very interesting.
okay, so you didn't know we were fractured before you got here.
No, but as soon as I see you, it is there. It's part of you. Like you look at me and you see, I don't know, perhaps you see feathers, you see, the clothes I'm wearing, you see who I am. I look at you and I see all these things, but I also see the fracture. It's just a part of who you are.
Okay.
Yes?
I'm tracking with you,
Okay.
kind of.
Good.
That's
So, I guess the question, like, are you ready to go, like, right now?
Yes.
See, that's the bit we were missing. We didn't realize this was a get up and go kind of situation. We thought this
Oh.
was a contract negotiation. Didn't realize there was anything to do, like, right here.
My apologies. Communication sometimes I forget to say certain things. I maybe not tell Ganymede that part. That's my fault. I can wait. It's okay.
So, what time of day is it?
No.
At this point, it's probably about mid-afternoon. It was getting close-ish to noon when you guys woke up. So after kind of conversation, it's probably just afternoon at this point. So midday.
How's this sound, lady? We'll go back. We'll circle up with the crew, and we'll meet here tomorrow morning, 9:00ish, and we'll head out and do the thing.
Tomorrow morning. Yes, okay. Early is good. Early is best.
Well, 9 is early for some of us, so
Yes.
I see. Okay.
If you get Tayland up before 9, you're gonna have a fight.
or he'll still be drunk from the night before. Could go
That
that way.
is also the possibility. Yes.
Might I ask?
Sure.
Yes. You said that Talent was one who had. You said he was acting. I don't want to rephrase what you said, but he exhibiting fracture. You saw it. You know it is there.
Well, our experience with Ataxian magic is very limited. I have begun to understand and sense it.
Yeah.
And over the last couple of days when Tayland has been casting spells, there seems to be this pulse of Ataxian energy coming off of him.
Oh yes, that is fractured for sure. He is fractured.
Okay.
It stands to reason then if 3 of you are fractured that your other companion is as well. Maybe not, but maybe so.
Well, we've all come in contact with different forms of Ataxian magic, one way or the other, so
Oh yes.
I
Please
suppose
tell
it
us.
stands to reason. Well,
What has happened? Sorry, this is I am very passionate about the Ataxian magic. It's so curious.
Dinar's gonna make eyes with Flick for a
Specialty.
moment and kind of
Yes.
like raise his arms and kind of questioning like,
Hey, let's save it for. We need a little bit of something to grease the wheels, a little icebreaker for when we're traveling. Anyway, right? So we'll save it for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh, we're not taking wheels. We're walking there.
well, this will be a good story then for traveling tomorrow.
Yes. Okay.
Don't want to spoil the story for the trip.
Oh. Oh yes, I see. Okay. Yes. It's saying.
Yes.
Wheels. I like that one.
Right. So we should go meet with the other two and see how things went with the hiring. And tomorrow morning.
Okay. You wait for me here. I'll come. I'll see you and be prepared for walks through forest. Okay. It's not far.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
I'll start making for the door.
Okay. Goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes. Say hi to fractured friends for me. Yes. Okay. Ganymede, I like them. These ones are interesting. Ganymede's like, you don't know the half of it.
Bird lady's a little weird, but I guess a paying gig's a paying gig, right?
She's just kind of turned off and like walked into the back into teleportation circle, and Ganymede's just kind of like, you get used to her. She spending all that time looking into chaos magic and kind of maybe,
Yeah, I can understand that.
All right, come. You're coming back into town. I'll escort you back in and leave you to. I have to go back. One more trip to the barracks there, anyways, and then I have to look at the arcane to meet a colleague. So.
All right.
Good. That's cool. Yeah, he walks you back in, and as you kind of enter town, he parts ways and leaves you to go about your business in there.
So yeah, I don't really have anything else left to do in town. Just seemed appropriate to not strike out late in the day. So we'll.
Dinar's got literally no money, so
So I'll meet up with the other two and hopefully be able to sell them on this gig.
So Tayland was going back into. No, Tayland was on the ship.
Yeah,
Talen's on the ship.
I'm on the ship dealing with the new recruits, making sure they don't,
Right.
do
So
anything
Torque,
weird.
you were heading
Yes.
into the Ivory Goods. Is that correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So probably at this point, after you guys have had your meeting, that you've had their meeting, you're just kind of meeting up. You're coming up to the Ivory Goods, and you'd see Dinar and Flick kind of heading back into town, kind of in your general direction.
I'll reconvene with them. So, how did it go?
Well, turns out we're all what's being called fractured.
That does not sound promising, Captain.
No.
The term of endearment, right? Isn't it?
It sounds like our time with all of this Ataxian chaos stuff has leached into our being. Apparently, this Kamari person can sense the Ataxian magic coming off of us, which is why they want us to check out the ruins that they have, see if we can gain entry because of our fractured state.
And did you agree to this proposal?
Well, not yet. We agreed to come and talk to our crew before saying yes or no.
They agreed to agree on meeting to agree.
Yeah.
It's like the government.
Yep.
Well,
So, yeah.
I will.
It kind of sounds like we have, again, something Talon was looking for, leverage. So we might be useful to them. And in return, they've offered us access to their magical supplies, their library, their enchanters, and all sorts of stuff. So
Spells.
yeah, it sounds like it's
Spells.
on the up and up.
It might be
I mean, is any-
worthwhile.
As well as just plain old cash, I'm sure is coming as well. So
While I would certainly like to get to the bottom of this, I will defer to your decision, regardless of what it may be, Captain. That being said, if we can find a way to discover what this being fractured entails, and if there is any way to reverse the process, this may be our best bet to do so.
or accelerate it might be a good
Well,
thing. Who knows,
and
eh?
that's- Yeah, Kamari didn't say that our being fractured was bad. She wasn't concerned about it. She was rather excited about it. Saw it as some kind of advantage. So, doesn't sound like it's an affliction. Yet.
Well,
Yet.
to be fair, those researcher types tend to, when something in their game really, we might be we might be a specimen that she's looking at, and that's why she's excited.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
She's the owl, you're the mouse. Like,
But I guess we should let our fourth member weigh in before we agree or disagree.
Well,
Hey,
we know how surly he's going to be about it regardless, but yeah, it'll be entertaining.
Say my biggest concern is just that we're not going to be on a boat. We're going to be inland. That might be his biggest argument.
Does he know any wood shanties? Is that a thing?
it's called
well,
a shack.
Guess we'll find
I
out.
imagine he'll probably write a few on the voyage.
A wood shanty is a shack.
I guess if Torque is finished collecting supplies, we'll meet up with Tayland on the boat. Unless
As
anybody
you're
else has
making
something
your
else they
way
want to do.
Oh, sorry.
I think we're good.
As you make your way back to the Radiant Dawn, just as you approach the gates to the harbor, you hear from all around you, dong, dong, bong, bong, bung. Warning bells begin
Mhm.
to sound. A few at first, ringing louder and louder. The guards all rushing to their posts. On the horizon, beyond the walls, over the sea, a thick, unnatural-looking storm cloud is approaching. Strange lightning moving in odd directions. And in the storm, as you look, you see, in one flash, skeletal face, another, a third, fourth,
Oh, we've seen this crap before.
Yes, we have.
and it begins to pick up speed and rush towards the port.
At least we're on solid ground this time.
Well, that's incentive to not set sail immediately, that's for sure.
And we'll pick up with that next time as the storm moves in. And a conversational storm awaits, perhaps, as well. And that'll bring us to the end of our game today.
Thank you all for joining us once again.
Thank you indeed. Please check out our Patreon if you have the time to do that, if you have the interest, if you like what we do and want to support us, we would love that. And again, you can go to our Linktree, linktr.ee/elderbrain. You can find the links to all of our socials, including our Discord. Come and join our Discord and hang out and chat. And we'll love to get to know all of you. But until next time, stay safe, everyone. Happy gaming. Take care.